Hello everyone and welcome to the Valorant Patch Notes 1.08 summary video. I don't know I still don't know how you call it. So obviously I do apologize that I haven't recorded a lot of videos lately. I've been just focusing mainly on school, but I'm happy to announce that school will so my schooling will be done next week, and then I'm gonna have a 2 week break until I got school again. But we do have to wait for yeah, we do have to wait for that. Another news about myself actually. I will be streaming again, obviously on like the couple of weeks I have off. I will be streaming Forza Horizon 4. I'll be streaming Valorant. Maybe Among Us if we just want to just say like a lobby a lobby of in Among Us and some other games as well that I will be streaming but obviously I will continue to make these videos as well. So the Valorant patch notes 1.08 is a very short patch note. It's mainly going to be, if I scroll down a bit, it is mainly going to be talking about Raze, the Guardian changes, and also a map rotation changes, which I will get to very late. Which I will get to later. I think they will also be making a little bit of operator changing. So I think the operator may get a big nerf, and I think there's been also talks that there's going to be some Viper changes in the patch notes 1.09. So let's first start off with Raze, the Blast Park, the what? The Blast Park, pack. The Blast Pack initial damage reduced to 15, with zero point 0.2 meter in a radius, falling off to 5 minimum damage. So I think that basically means that like you will have a full of damage. I think once the satchel lands in arms with zero point 0.5 seconds increase in its max damage to 50, so that's kind of a buff. Shooting the blast pack causes it to detonate, dealing its current damage amount, so you can actually shoot it. I don't think you could shoot it before, and the satchel no longer does damage to allies, which is a pretty good change, I'll be honest. The developer says Raze's blast pack has been dishing out damage without giving enemies much counterplay. This change should help and make it very clear when blast pack's damage possesses a threat, while maintaining the utility aspects of the blast pack with players have begun to master. The blast pack now does not fizzle when shot and will still do damage, meaning it should still be approached carefully if in lethal range. So it's kind of like a buff and a nerf, but it's mainly just a nerf to Raze. Obviously, the only weapon update is the Guardian, which got a buff, a pretty hefty buff. It was so the price has now been reduced from 2,500 to 2,400. Improved rate of fire from 4.75 to 5.25 rounds per second, and improved weapon accuracy from 0.35 after 3 bullets to 29.25 after 3 bullets. I will be also showing you a video of all these changes as well, so don't have to go into YouTube and yeah. The developer, which I think is Jeff Lander, said we don't think the Guardian can or should compete directly with the Phantom or Vandal, but would like to have a place where players can will feel good opting into the gun at the new price. It is a competitive purchase in certain economic circumstances or map scenarios, and isn't as punishing when an enemy gets closer. Here is a change that I'm so happy actually exists. It is the map rotation changes. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. I'm actually quite happy this is up, so I'll read this and then I'll basically try and explain it, even though it has a pretty good explanation here. It's happening. The possible pool of maps you can get plays on is now pseudo random. I don't know what that means. Rather than pure random, what that means is if you just play, say, Haven, the matchmaker will depro we will deprior de whatever. Wait, hang on. the matchmaker will deprioritize. The matchmaker will deprioritize that map in your next game. So we'll just get rid of that map in the map pool, or in the map rotation. Matchmaking queue for all modes has been updated to measure all your recent played maps throughout all modes, so that for any given queue, you have a better chance of playing on a map you haven't played recently, and are much less likely to play on the same map several games in a row. Hang on. Okay. So basically what that means is if you get split like 15 times a row, you'll most likely get another map like Ascent or Bind or Haven. Quality of life changes. Observers will now see a full timer rather than their screen being obscured when observing a player who is blinded. Full screen blind for observers can be turned back in the options for your messages. Minimap performance improvements. The social panel will now pause sorting while you're hovering or interacting with it. Updated verbiage, I don't know, in the all rank model in the career page to be more consistent with competitive overtime rules. And there's only 3 bug fixes, or 4 if you really count the other one. So they got the Prime Classic VFX fix, which there was a bug which upgraded the Prime levels 2 to 4. We're not playing the correct traces, sound effects, and other voice effects or video effects. Fix the bug where the end of game screen would display a still processing message and then wouldn't show that message in your career tab. And fix the bug where high skill disparity would display in custom game lobbies. So that was by Jeff Lander, a comms associate. Now I'm gonna be right back. I just need to try to find the video that I found earlier. So here is actually the same. Actually, I don't think it's the same channel, but it's basically the video that obviously I showed earlier in a 1.07. It's just a Korean. I think it's Korea, of Valorant. So it's basically I think it's Korea. But I will be using this channel a lot for patch notes, just to get an understanding of it. So I will be pausing if there's like a change that I wanted to see, and yeah, so if you guys enjoy this one, I will obviously leave. I'm down. I will obviously leave a link to this in the description. So if I get this up, that was this one. I think that was the initial damage reduced. I think so. And that's the max damage. So yeah, so that was like a full on just like wait and then go. So that's 50 damage. That one had 85 damage. Yeah, so that was before, so I was when it just took 75, that one took 95. So it's a pretty big nerf actually, now I think about it, but in the blast pack. So that one actually took damage. That one was the allies. This is now the weapon update. So this is the Guardian. So now the system updates. This is just this is basically talking about the map rotation changes. Don't know what that was about. And this is now actually talking about the Ignition series, about the Asia Showdown, which I will be actually talking about now. So that was the Valorant patch notes. Let me now get the Valorant Wikipedia that I use. Okay, we are back. Next, okay, so we're going to be first be talking about the transfers that happened. Quite a lot of transfers has happened last time we were here. I need to get back on to where it was. I don't know where it was, but it's a very long one. Hang on. I can't be bothered. So we're just going to start at the basically the most important one, and I think it's actually okay. So we're gonna be talking about T1. Obviously, there's been some controversies over T1 about mainly Crashies, Food, and Skadoodle. And now, Crashies and Food have now left T1 to go into another team, which I will be talking about very soon. Noble announces a new roster. Steel now joins us 100 Thieves, even though everyone thought it was going to be iBad Power 2.0. Bonk drops their coach Emil. Gonna keep looking over here. ZF leaves Bonk. Those guys I think disbanded. There's an actual team, by the way. um, I have a look. So and then Luminosity Gaming announces Yogi or Yogai as a scout slash manager. Renegades, who was actually in the team already, well not only in the team but just there. Announces Artiku as their player and Coach J as a coach. Luminosity Gaming makes some changes. They get rid of FizzQ and Hopping, and replacing them is Venerated and Kasai's, which is actually quite interesting for Venerated, who was obviously formerly from 100 Thieves. Noble interestingly announces Noble India. Emil is now in Ninjas and Pajamas. Drake is now in for Bonk. And this is where the juicy stuff comes in. Akis and Calypso are both inactive, basically in a substitution role. Food and Crashies both come in for Team Envy. So, yes, to the reserve roster. So, currently, the roster looks like it is FNS, Mame, Caboose, Food, and Crashies, which is relatively a pretty good roster. These players have actually improved themselves, especially Mame and FNS. I mean, doing really good really well in the Pop Flash. It's a shame that Akis and Calypso are now in the reserve roster. It's quite sad, but hopefully they'll be in it and they'll be back in the active roster. A Russian team called Fishka v Tom Lee is disbanded. A Brazilian team called B4 Esports has now been formed. Rice makes some changes. PHO actually announces his retirement, so I think he's the first player to actually ever retire in Valorant. Complexity Gaming announces a change. Com and Frisco is now in the inactive roster. Cause is now the manager of Team Liquid. Granite Gaming announces their roster. Wave Esports announced Blesh as inactive. Ground Zero Gaming, an Australian team, announces their roster, which was formerly from Unnamed. Ninja Pajamas makes some pretty big changes. That's Hip and Feroth is now in the inactive roster, and Sayef is now in the active roster. So currently they only have 4 players, with Rhyme, Lucker, Korea, and Sayef. Hip and Faroth are now inactive, so which is sad because I think they're pretty good players. Andbox announces their first two players of Yay and Android. And also gets Gogwan and Warden as their coaching staff, and Team Serenity makes some changes as well. So that's like a quick, basically just a quick summary of it. However, the Ignition series obviously is still going on. Obviously, you've probably heard me talking about the Pop Flash, and obviously Sentinels went against Team Envy, and how Dignitas basically upsetted everyone. For the women summer showdown, it was won by Magical, and then second place was GX3. The Blast Twitch Invitational was won by G2 Esports and Fun Plus Phoenix. The GG Tech Valorant Invitational to LAS, which I think is LAN America South, maybe. I don't know. That was won by Astro Esports and Furious Gaming in second place. And then we have the LAN of the GG Tech Valorant Invitational 2. Impulse Royal C Cup Qualifier 1. The Africa TV Asia Showdown. 3 qualifiers. Yes, like the other 3 of the Impulse Royal C Cup. The Rise of Valor, which is kind of like the next main one, I guess. The actual Impulse Royal C Cup, and the Games Club Ultimate 2 round of the Ignition series. As we'll be talking about for the women's summer showdown, which obviously I didn't really get to talk about. So these, let me show you the players. So these are all the players, and you may see some players you may have seen in around the esports scene. Like for example, I know Annie Jo, who she is a Overwatch player, and also some other ones as well that you may have heard of. Some CS:GO players even. So yeah. So those are all the rosters. And this is the Group A. And a pretty big group. And then this is Group B as well. And then those are the results. And this is at the playoffs guidance. Basically, MJKL basically smashed the whole competition, which is very impressive, and which is very impressive. It would definitely give teams a opportunity to really look into these female players, be like, okay, yeah, let's sign them up, and basically make a full-on female roster. For the ongoing events currently, got the Freaka Asia Showdown, which I did talk about earlier. We have Vision Strikers, Absolute Jupiter, AHQ Esports Club, and Team SMG as the in the yep in the showdown. And obviously we've got the GG Tech Invitational, so we've got the land version, the South America, which obviously is still ongoing with all these teams. And then obviously we have... Okay, we actually have a win and forfeit. Okay, that's interesting. So Rainbow 7 and Infinity Esports are going to be in the grand final. I'm not really going to make a prediction on that because I can't be bothered. Here in the last tournament, which I still don't know what it is, it was won by Astral Esports, and then second place was Furious Gaming. I'll take you guys have a look at roster in here, if you want, and those are the playoffs. For the upcoming events, we got the Impulse Royal C Cup, so Q1, obviously nothing, Q2. So okay, so the Q1 they'll be in Malaysia and Singapore. Qualifier 2, it will be the Philippines and Indonesia. Q3 will only be in Thailand, and Q4 will be in Taiwan and Hong Kong. So obviously we have 5 teams already in the thing. Well, yeah, in the C Cup. Vision Strikers, Umri Gaming, Boom Esports, Morph Team, RHQ Esports Club, and Boo Elite Gaming. And then always got we got a couple more invited slots left. And yeah, the Rise of Valor, I don't so they have done the play-in, I think. Or they still haven't, and it's kind of pissing me off to be honest. But however, still plays more teams are coming into the Valorant scene. They haven't started. I think they will start in September 19th. So actually tomorrow they will be signing and got the last chance qualifier here as well. So currently only Tilted Fury, Coffee, and Appa. Yep. Interesting. Currently in the play-in. Will in the last chance qualifier, and then obviously we got the play-in, then the last chance qualifiers. So two teams. So the top two from the play-ins, and the top, and I think everyone else are in the last rounds except for 15th to 16th in the play-ins, and the top two will be in the main event as well for the last chance qualifier. For the Gamers Club Ultimate number 2, this is in Brazil. Currently, no teams have been announced. However, in the qualifiers, there have been many teams being announced. Some teams have obviously have I think pretty well-known players, mainly in the CS:GO region. I think I don't really know. Pretty big long list. I don't know when to stop. Okay, so very long bracket, and whoever comes first to 8th, they'll be in the main event. So I guess that is now it. So that is it of everything in the Valorant esports scene. I'll try and keep you guys updated about everything going on, like some roster changes or some other stuff as well. Like the new Ignition series, like a new series or esports series basically. That's gonna be up. I don't know when that's gonna come in, but hey, and obviously we will go back and all of these to have a look of how teams have gone this year. So that's it for me now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on next time. Goodbye.